Well, the pain's been going on for a long, long time. And it got to the point where when I stood up, I didn't know whether I could take one step or 5 steps. We finally realized that I had a hip problem. Having my hip replaced was probably the best thing I ever did. When I woke up, there was really no pain. I mean, I was walking immediately. It's like you take a light switch and you turn the pain off. I'm able to do anything I want to do. Being able to spend time with my wife, with my kids, with my grandkids, that's irreplaceable.
Baylor Orthopedic and Spine Hospital.
Hi, I'm Kristen Karsten, Chris, if you will, here with T5 at today's Texas Rugby All-Stars Tournament. Here I have me today Anna Kunkel, the head coach for the Marfu side today, pulling out a very impressive match, even coming back and only losing by a 1-point deficit with 14 players on the field, impressive by any Rugger standards, and their captain, Abby Higgins. Tell me, what are your thoughts on today's game?
I thought it was a great game. We came in here with a plan that we were able to execute. We had watched some game of TRU, so we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into. They played a great game. Our girls stepped up and played their little hearts out. So I'm very, very proud of them.
It was definitely something to see. From the sidelines, we were nothing short of amazed and impressed by what we saw out there. What are your thoughts on today's game?
Well, I was nervous just because it's a bunch of people coming together to form one team, and I was kind of nervous that we'd kind of play as individuals, but we really came together and, like you said, we pulled out a win, we thought, for a little bit, and then we lost it at the end, but only losing by 1 point. I mean, it's still an amazing game, so I'm proud of everyone.
Well, it definitely showed on the sidelines. We were very impressed with everything we saw, and just the sheer heart and the teamwork out there on the field. And tell us, what did you tell your team at halftime?
At halftime, we just went back to our goals. You know, our goals were getting beyond the defense, making sure we hit those holes with as much strength, like running forward as much as we can, and then on defense, sticking our tackles. We wanted to make sure that every time they got the ball, they had a little bit of fear in them.
Definitely showed out there. Definitely saw quite a few dominant tackles. I know one on Alex Free, one of the props, just a full off-the-foot positive tackle. So what do you look to take forward to the next game from this match?
Number one, when we have a penalty opportunity in front of the post, we're going to kick for points, because we had one right before the half that we didn't, and we learned our lesson. And then we're just going to continue to make sure that we're taking really hard ball running, work on our defense, a little bit more on our defensive structure, making sure we're playing all together. All
right, well, we look really forward to seeing this next match and how you take these skills with you. Have a good day, and I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kristen Karsten, Chris, if you will, here with T5 at today's
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you to get
Chris Karsten here with T5 at the All-Star Rugby Tournament in Grand Prairie, here with Lauren Trout, excuse me, and Linda Guiney. Linda Guiney was the captain of today's match. Lauren Trout, the head coach for the Carfu side today. Tell me, what happened out there? What did you think about the game today?
I thought the first half we started off really well. We had a lot of good continuity. Our pattern was working really well. You could see that we had our structure down. Definitely had a little more fortuity in the second half against them. It took us a little longer to get our pattern going. When we had it, it worked out well, but there were moments where we kind of lost it. So definitely something to work on.
What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, Texas was a really physical team, and I think in the second half when we started to get a little more tired, it was a little harder with the breakdown, a little harder to string things together, but that was a good game overall.
It was definitely a great match to watch from the sidelines. Very aggressive, very physical. What did you talk to your team about at halftime?
So we addressed the physicality of Texas. From the beginning, they were very strong at the breakdown, at the rucks. They were driving us back, and so we tried to focus on stabilizing the rucks a little bit, which I think we did better, but we still have definitely an area we can improve for the next time.
Absolutely. And on that note, what do you hope to take out of this game and expecting tomorrow's game? What do you hope to take and use?
I think we definitely want to stick with our continuity. The interplay between the backs and the pack worked really well. We looked for the different options that we had out there. We're going to try to practice maintaining our pattern even when we get tired, and also really work on the breakdown and the basics of the breakdown.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing that game tomorrow and seeing how you'll do. Hopefully, I suppose I'd say it's a little warmer, but I imagine that wouldn't be any different. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it very much, and best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
5,
Howdy, this is Grant Cole with This is Texas Rugby, coming to you live from Grand Prairie, Texas. We're at Prairie Park on the site of the old U.S. Navy Air Station here in Grand Prairie, where today we're going to bring to you a clash of all-stars, women's all-stars from the Chicago Area Rugby Union and the Mid-America Rugby Union here at the All-Star Rugby Challenge. Our referees for today are Lee Bryant. The ARs are Jack Harrell and Wendy Young. Chicago area team today will be staffed by at loosehead prop, Amy Martello. Hooker is Katie Sanford. Tight head prop is Charlie Jacoby. In the wheelhouse, Hannah Hodak and Yevgenia Oftenbrink. At flanker and the captain, Linda Guidey. Anna Cohen-Price fills in at 7, and Danielle Kiesel at 8. At the hinge, number 9 is Sydney Grantham for Chicago. Number 10, fly half, Kathleen Stanley. The wings are Mackenzie Wood and Kelly Hurt. Midfield is Lauren Ebeline and Jessica Lubick. And in the backfield, the try-scoring flash yesterday, Sarah Kish. Rounding out the reserves for Chicago area, Kara Thayer, Abigail Hershik, Katriana Elmer, Rachel Rogowski, Megan Hutler, and Maria Acosta. For Mid-America, at prop, Anna Klaus. At hooker, Elizabeth Crotty in the number 3 jersey. At tight head prop, Julie Bodie in the number 16 jersey. In the wheelhouse, Katie Lowry, Lauren Kuklinski. At flanker, Michael Wood and Katie Sanders. At number 8, the thrilling runner from yesterday, Chloe Jex. At number 9, Lily Smith. And the fly half is Victoria King. Wings are Sarah Monson and Shayna Thomas. In the midfield, inside center is Rochelle Towson and the captain, Michelle Rupard. And at wing for Mid-America, Kara Clausen. In the reserves for Mid-America, Kara Weberg, Caitlin Evan, Lauren Schlebanowski, Rebecca Bauer, Susan McLeod, Emily Schmitz, and Abby Higgins, as well as Hannah Reed at 9. Carfu has the ball now. Kickoff, we're about 30 seconds in, Mid-America has made the recovery. Jex has it out. And Maul has gone down. Now that is Anna Klaus Dozer driving forward. Smith has the ball out to King. King back inside to Rochelle Towson. Towson crashes forward, gets a meter, and Smith has to dig for the ball as Chicago area comes up with it. Charlie Jacoby picks up the ball, goes forward a couple meters. It's Grantham with the ball out to Stanley. Stanley's looking for Mackenzie Wood, but Wood, the try scorer from yesterday that opened the game against Texas up with the try, steps into touch. With me in the commentary booth today is Texas A&M men's rugby forwards coach Johnny Smith.
Howdy, Grant. Thanks. Great to be here. Looking forward to this really great match. Should be a good matchup between a flowing team and a hitting team. So let's see who wins out.
Knock on by Rochelle Towson at midfield results in a scrum to Chicago area. What did you see in the scrums yesterday from these two teams, Johnny?
I think they both scrummaged well. I think it was a little hard to get a judge on Carfu. They were playing a very tired Texas team. But it looks like they tired out towards the end of the game. And so this should be an interesting matchup.
Bryant has the call to Grantham. Grantham's out to Stanley. Stanley skips out to Ebeling. Ebeling looking for Kish. Finds Hurt, and Kish is in support, but Hurt steps into touch.
You know, Grant, and speaking with the Carfu coach earlier, she had mentioned that she wanted to see more physicality from Carfu. But it looks like they're going to continue with the same game plan, and that's to get the clean ball out to their backs. They had a lot of success with that yesterday.
And there's Michael Wood with the ball. It's given up by Clausen. Wood again. Knock on out of Wood's hand. And the ball is given up to Chicago area inside Mid-American territory.
So that last scrum was pretty even. So let's see if they were just feeling each other out, seeing what kind of pressure they can come up with from Marfu.
One thing I noticed yesterday in Carfu's scrums, they were just getting a couple steps and then they were stopping. Little dirty ball from Wood. She cleans it up to give it to Kish. Kish finding those holes, has the ball out to Linda Guiney, the captain. And there's a little bit of a dust up on the weak side, and Anna Dozer-Klaus drives the ball carrier into touch for a line out to Mid-America.
I really think that's the game Marfu wants to be playing with Carfu, playing loose, letting the Carfu athletes kind of run through them.
And Sarah Kish will definitely run through you. Here's Ro Towson.
Nice physical hit up. That's what you want to see from your tight forwards. Unfortunately,
Jacoby with the steal for Chicago. Stanley cleans up. Finds Ebeling. And the first scrum of the day is not rolling away on Mid-America. First penalty of the day. Kelly Hurt looks for touch.
It's a nice kick for touch.
Carfu's lineouts yesterday were pretty well set, and we had a lot more wind out here. Johnny, what do we expect today with this? We got a little bit less wind, and it's coming out of the south instead of out of the northwest. What do you think we can see out of the lineouts today?
Well, I think Carfu's going to do what they want to do. They just want to get the ball in, get the ball out, and get it out to their backs. They did a good job yesterday of doing that, and created a lot of points for them. So I would think they'd want to do that again.
Katie Sanford's throw-in is deemed to be not straight. Mid-America opts for a line-out. Lee Bryant doesn't see a meter there, wants a meter. And Crotty with the throw-in. It's not straight either. And Lee Bryant says we're going to have a scrum at 15 to Chicago area.
It may be the wind coming into play there, picking up, kind of moving across the field instead of against that ball instead of with that ball as it was yesterday. So hookers will have to adjust to that.
It's hard to throw a floater in wind like this. You never know where it's going to go. You got to really throw bullets, don't you? Ball comes out late to Kish. Kish is smothered up in the tackle by what looks like Crotty.
Looked like there may have been some confusion on that move there. Scrum half moving to her right with expecting a fullback or a winger there that wasn't there.
Carfu gets a break with a penalty of offsides from Mid-America, and they're going to take a line out just about 10 meters out.
They're going with that 5-man, Grant. It would look like would lead me to believe they're going to try to move this ball again. Ugh.
Well, Mid-America having
maybe a little bit of early morning nerves for both teams.
And Chicago area did not release the tackle in contact. Held on to the tackle player. And Mid-America is looking for a bit of relief.
It appeared to me that Mid-America had knocked that ball on there in the try line. And there didn't appear to be any advantage gained, but
Line out to Mid-America here. Elizabeth Crotty with the throw in.
it's more of a direct throw there, making the adjustment for the wind.
Knock on by King, though. Victoria King, the fly half for today for Mid-America. A little bit of a change from yesterday. Abby Higgins was fly half for Mid-America yesterday, and now Victoria King today. And that knock-on's going to see a scrum to Chicago area. We're still scoreless here in Grand Prairie. If you're just joining us, Mid-America is on the left in the white kit, and on the right in the blue is Chicago area. Grantham has the ball out to Hurt, and Hurt's gathered up by the Mid-America team. Now coming back the other way. Laura Ebeling with the crash up. Ball's sprouting around, and Danielle Kleesel, they call her Diesel, picked up the ball, but she was deemed to have entered from the side. Lee Bright asked for a minute. And asked for the captains to have a chat with their team about cleaning up the ill discipline at the ruck. Chloe Jacks now with the ball on a penalty move. She's taken down, wrapped up by Amy Martello.
Beautiful steal, right over the top of it. Pulled it back to her team. Textbook.
The ball's out. Danielle Kiesel with the ball. She has to be wrapped up around the legs to be taken down. Lily Smith has to dig it out. Has it to Ebeling. Ebeling has it to Kish. Kish is hammered early by Micah Wood. And there's going to be a yellow card coming out. And that is Kiara Clausen with his yellow card for what looks like a dangerous tackle.
Carfoo's having some issues at the breakdown. It doesn't appear that they're committing enough people. Obviously wanting to get it out wide. We're going to take a look at this hit again. It was deemed a bit high and resulted in a yellow card. Oh, and as you can see, it was quite high.
Mid-America seems to be a little bit more physical today, but you've got to hit Sarah Kish pretty hard to be physical with her. She steps, moves through the Mid-America line, weaves through it like a crochet master, and finds try time for Chicago area.
And it was a nice move. It's clear that's what Carfoo's plans are. They want to get the hands into their fullback, but they're going to have to secure possession at that ruck. Mid-America's been able to disrupt there. Maybe just need one more person in there, or as their coach was talking about this morning, just got to be more physical if they're going to keep all those forwards out into the back line.
And Kathleen Stanley has the sticks up for the conversion. It's now 7-0. Chicago area over Mid-America. Kish yesterday was a try score abundantly. She weaved through and fended off and The nuclear power plant operator is something to behold on the rugby pitch. Lee Bryant has a discussion with the captain of Mid-America ahead of the restart. She's definitely not liking some of the things she's seeing out there. She wants to make sure it's cleaned up before we get back into play. Lee Bryant is a USA Rugby referee here as a national appointment. Restarts up high. Goes into the hands of Katie Lowry, or excuse me, Hannah Hodick. Now Jacoby crashes up into Lauren Kuklinski, gets an extra meter with the drive. I said earlier that Kiara Clausen was yellow carded, but I was wrong. That was Shayna Thomas. Clausen's getting tested back there by Stanley's boot. Now Stanley moves it out to Ebeling. And it's been taken by Anna Dozer-Klaus. You gotta love it when a prop steps in and gets an intercept. That's wonderful stuff. All that work by Klaus and is undone by a knock on. Klaus, she's definitely going to want that one back. That was a brilliant. What do you think, Johnny? You ever get a chance when you were propping to get a nice little intercept like that?
Oh, it happened all the time, Grant. It happened all the time. I'll talk to the booth and see if we can't bring up some old clips.
That was great stuff. Anna Klaus, they call her Dozer. Her rugby bag is adorned with keychains from all over. It's the jingly jangly.
Full back in again, setting up her winger. Nice tackle.
Hurt and Kish connecting. That could be a dangerous combination for Chicago today. Now out to Ebeling again. Ebeling bobbles the ball forward. Play still on. No advantage gain, and it's going to be a scrum to Mid-America.
Looked like at that last breakdown, Carfu got an extra person in there into that breakdown, and it went very well for them. So maybe they've recognized that. Mid-America is going to have to do more at that breakdown to disrupt clean ball to Carfu, because it's clear that's Carfu's plan.
Mid-America with the split backfield, having their centers to the right, their wing and fullback and fly half to their left. Lily Smith has the ball out to Victoria King. Victoria King finds Sarah Monson. Monson is gathered up by her opposite number. A little bit of bobble ball. Chloe Jex now. Jex was a hard runner yesterday. Gave Texas a lot of problems. Looks like she's going to prove just as hard today. Smith having a lot of problems today trying to dig that ball out of the breakdown. And Jex puts foot downfield. She wants to test Sarah Kish, and that's proved ill-advisable yesterday. Kish definitely has the speed. She's gathered up and gets the ball out to Mackenzie Wood. Not releasing the tackle is called. Danielle Kiesel drives forward with it, gives to Charlotte Jacoby. Jacoby's into the ruck. Good, nice tackle there by the Mid-American Katie Sanders. The ball's out from Chicago area, and Kish has it now on the outside. She steps back to the inside, gathered up. Ball's bobbled out of Chicago hand, and now it's in Mid-America. There's no advantage gained by that knock on by Chicago, though, so Mid-America is going to get a scrum near center pitch. Looks like Kara Weberg and Caitlin Evans coming on. Katie Sanford's coming off, and definitely got to be somebody else coming off, and then somebody is down at the moment. All right.
Well, the pain's been going on for a long, long time. And it got to the point where when I stood up, I didn't know whether I could take one step or 5 steps. We finally realized that I had a hip problem. Having my hip replaced was probably the best thing I ever did. When I woke up, there was really no pain. I mean, I was walking immediately. It's like you take a light switch and you turn the pain off. I'm able to do anything I want to do. Being able to spend time with my wife, with my kids, with my grandkids, that's irreplaceable.
That little break. Towson and Sanders have come off from Mid-America. Weberg and Evan have gone on to replace them. Mid-America has the scrum from the Chicago knock-on in contact. Chloe Jacks with the 8-man take. She takes off around. Takes on Lubick. Excuse me, Michelle. Jessica Lubick. Lily Smith digging that ball out of the scrum again. Slow ball, not what she wants. Has it out to King. King to Anna Klaus. Charlie Jacoby with another steal, something she's been doing very well this weekend. Now Stanley steps inside. She keeps driving forward. Pretty good for a fly half to drive forward. Evelyn now. Evelyn to Lubick. Lubick between her attackers out to Wood. Wood drives forward, takes it in a step, presents clean ball. Now Anna Cohen-Price. Cohen, Stanley to Lubick, to Jacoby coming on strong. Gets a meter after the tackle. Stanley finds Evelyn. Evelyn looking for Hurt. Hurt. Oh, Hurt had an angle, but got the ball knocked out of her hand, and it's knock-on advantage to Mid-America. That knock-on advantage is not realized. And we're going to have a scrum to Mid-America. Johnny, interesting little run of play there. What do you see?
I'm wondering what the toll is going to be on Marthu later in the game with all these tackles they're having to make. They're having Carfu sticking to their plan. They're trying to get it out wide, but they're now hitting it up in the middle to draw some more of those ladies into there and create that overload, but creating a lot of tackle situations for Marthu.
Definitely going to want to keep the ball in the hands of Anna Dozer and Chloe Jacks, who seem to be their strongest runners, and try to be driving forward with that.
Carfu created just a little bit of pressure in the last scrum. I don't know if that's going to grow as the game goes on.
It's out to King. King looking back inside to Evan. Chloe checks again. Wants to put it up. Kish almost under it. Picks it up. She's got Clausen. She steps around Clausen. Steps back inside. Looks out. As Captain Guiney, then Wood. The tackle's a bit high around Wood's neck. It's Weberg with the dangerous tackle up around Mackenzie Wood. Stanley's going to look for touch to right at the 22, so she's definitely going to look for touch to try and get that.
So Gish creating all of this. She's just trying to save her. Just trying to save that tackle from letting her get by. Got a little too high. think it's a mistake on Marfu's part to be booting the ball down the field to Carfu's best player, Gish.
She's definitely proven to be able to carve up the lines a bit, and getting around Mid-America's arguably best tackler in Kiara Clausen is no mean feat. And she just stepped her easy and made her look like she was just standing there grabbing at nothing. Cohen Price with the take. Maul by Chicago area now. It's been brought down, and that collapsed ball is quick tap by Kathleen Stanley. Now Jacoby. And Jacoby over the line for Chicago area's second try.
That's a great second effort by actually Coach Jacoby. She's got the unenviable task of being a player coach. So great second effort there to get into the try zone. Here she is again. She takes up a really good leg drive and then gets the stretch to get into the try zone. Well-deserved try. Going back to Gish, what really impresses me about Gish, Grant, is not only her ability to beat that first defender, but she's always got that eye open to make passes to someone else into space. So it's not just her ability to get past them, it's her ability to see the field and see her teammates around her.
That's right. Stanley has another conversion just inside the post, bringing the score Chicago area 14, Mid-America 0.
Mid-America, I think, has got to find a way to hold on to the ball. They've got to get the ball and maintain possession of that ball. I think if they work through their forwards, they might have a slight advantage there, and make Carfu do some real work.
It seems like every time Chicago area has had a knock-on, Mid-America squandered that possession with another knock-on right behind it.
Absolutely.
Now Cohen Price takes it up. She makes it to the 40. Katie Sanford with the drive and a meter. Sanford, excuse me. Kathleen Stanley gets a poor pass from Grannon and bobbles it up. This is Mid-America's first foray into Chicago area territory.
And that was nice work by number 4, Katie Lowry. She's coming in there trying to, she timed it well, made a hit on the scrum half, and then made the initial tackle on the ball carrier. So good work from her. Mid-America needs more of that.
Ball was out. Chicago area comes up with it. Oftenbrink, off to Stanley, to Ebeling. Ebeling finds Kish coming in. Kish finds a hole, beautiful. Steps around Clausen. Dishes out a bit too far. They need to get in closer to Kish, but they've still got possession now. Hurt takes it into a ruck to reform their structure. Grannon again, Stanley. Lubick, now Diesel. Now Jacoby. Jacoby looking for Wood. Wood isolating herself into Shayna Thomas.
Good decision. Oh, nice steal.
Nice steal by Mid-America. And then Jacoby with the steal back. Says, thanks, I'll have that. And Kara Weberg gets her hands in, trying to touch it and get possession, and knocks it forward, and she does so illegally coming in from the side.
Would appear she never really even got back onside from the get-go. Yeah, she came from an offsides position. That's really cynical play there. She knows better than that.
I think that's what Lee Bryant has just told Michelle Rupard. Let's straighten it up at the breakdowns. You're going to get another card, and that's not going to bode well for you.
Well, I think all these tackles are causing some of this ill discipline. They're getting a little bit desperate. There's almost a feel that the dam's fixing to burst, and Mid-America wants to do everything they can to prevent that from happening, obviously.
But Lee Bryant's watchful eye. Now, that may not have been Clausen's best move. And Mid-America's trying to relieve some pressure there. It gives Chicago area a line out almost at 5 meters. Expect this ball to go to Cohen Price again, yes. And with another drive for a ball. Granted now to Stanley. Has it out to Wood. Wood hurt. A little bit of a miscommunication there by the backs.
Grant, being the forwards coach that I am, my observation is that they probably should have kept that ball in the ball and drove it all the way in.
They had momentum there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
You know, if you've already got a try from a collapsed ball penalty, and you've got the drive, why get it out quickly, right?
Well, there's, the world's been known to collude against forwards in scoring tries. So.
Wood picks it up, gathers it. She finds Guiney. Granted to Kiesel. Kiesel right into Lily Smith for the tackle. And Mid-America kicks it out, trying to find their speed. Sarah Monson's brought down by Hurt, though.
Charlie Jacoby there with a steal. That's, I believe, her third one of the game.
We're going to end up not being able to keep count of that, are we?
No, not if they keep kicking.
Kelly Hurt is gathered into touch by Clausen.
Again, I just think, Grant, that the Carfu attack is creating a little bit of panic. Maybe not panic, but it's approaching that to prevent it before it gets started. But Carfu seems to be already running downhill, and we know what happens when things roll downhill.
And Chicago area seems to be a little bit more hungrier for the ball than Mid-America does at the breakdown. Another steal by Chicago area, and they've got numbers out wide if they know to use it. Wood now has Kish, and you're not going to stop Kish from there. She's got the try time, the third try to Chicago area.
That is really great work there from Gish. She clearly read that early on and took the proper place in the line to receive that last pass.
There are a lot of places in that line that a fullback can bring themselves into, and Kish chose to step to the outside, wait and be patient on the pass from Wood there.
Yeah, and let's not forget Wood did exactly what she was supposed to do. She drew two defenders and made that pass. I mean, how many times have we seen a winger draw two defenders and not make the pass? So
too many times.
That is excellent work from the winger as well.
Stanley's kick is inside to the left a little bit too much. Had the distance, though. So no conversion there. And the score is Chicago area at 19 and Mid-America 0.
I think Carfu's just having a little bit better time playing the game they want to play, imposing their will on Marfu, and Marfu's going to have to try to turn that around and impose their game a little bit on them.
A little bit deeper kick this time. Finds Hannah Hodak. Hodak with good presentation, and Jacoby with a rare miscue. Knocks it forward and gives the ball up to Mid-America. No advantage gained by Jacoby's knock-on. Mid-America's going to get the scrum here. Emily Schmidt's coming on now.
Bit more power maybe into that second row. I think it's a matter of time. Carfu is steadily gaining dominance come scrum time. See if Marfu can counter that.
Schmidt's replacing Katie Lowry. Scrum collapses immediately. And Amy Martello is called for collapsing that scrum and penalized.
It looked like to me the tight head let go of her bind, but I couldn't see exactly what precipitated her losing that bind.
I thought exactly that. She'd lost her bind. And she's going to need a little bit of a break. So Laura Chablet.
So here comes the scrum here again. If you take a look at that. I don't know. That might have been that loose head just getting her head a little too low and slipped down. I thought that bond had come off earlier, but apparently it didn't. So well played, sir.
So Laura Chlabanowski comes on for Julie Bodie. And Bodie is helped off a bit. Not exactly sure what's wrong with her, but may have hit her head pretty hard when she went down. Karate and Thomas help her off, and now we're back on for a penalty play by Mid-America. You know it's going to Jex. Jex trying to run for space, but runs right into her opposite number, Danielle Kiesel. Ball's out. Smith digging it out again, looking for King. Finds Rupard. King steps through, finds Jex. Jex was a devastating runner yesterday for Mid-America against Texas. She's proven again today that she can do the same. Chlabanowski with the drive right down to the line. Smith now. Off to Evan. To Jex. And Chloe Jex is in for Mid-America try time.
It's great work. If Mid-Atlantic continues to play that game, because it looks like Carfu's committing as few people as possible to the rucks, giving the ball away, and spreading their forwards out into defense as Jex drives over there in the replay. I think Marfu can find some gaps in and around the rucks, and using their forwards, especially Jex, to hit it up, they'll have more success than they will out wide.
Rupard, the captain, sets up for the extras. Chloe Jex holds the ball for her. She's got a lot of oomph on it, but not enough accuracy. Score remains Chicago area 19, Mid-America 5, as they close the gap to 2 tries. Both these teams with hard battles yesterday. Mid-America with a back-and-forth second half against Texas, and Chicago area with a very productive first half, 60 points in the first half against Texas, but they only got a try in the second half as Texas came back and decided to play a little bit stiffer defense against them. Chloe Jex now. She's stopped up by Cohen Price. Dozer. That ball's bobbled up.
You know, Grant, going back to yesterday's games, it'll be interesting to see, because in that Carthew game, they were able to pull a lot of people off after a half of rugby. It'll be interesting in this second half of the game to see how that strategy pays off for them.
Yeah, they are a little short on numbers today than they were yesterday. They had one player that is not released to play today, so.
Much more stable platform.
Stanley has it out. Ebeling and Hurt, then Kish has to reach for it and bobbles it up. A little bit flatter pass from Hurt would be nice for Kish.
Just slightly behind her. But she was once again in space, clean pass. I'd be willing to bet we're kicking for a conversion right now. Because Gish has definitely been able to prove that she's one defender's not enough for her. Not an open field. She get a really good shot of this bind over here on this side. A little early. Lucette seems to be having a little bit of a problem.
Smith decides to go her own, and she's isolated. Definitely needs some help. And gets tackled into touch by Lubick. Jessica Lubick with the tackle. Smith taking the quick tap, thinking her forwards were with her, not really communicating it, isolating herself. She gets a good 20 meters out of it, but she's tackled into touch, and the ball goes to Chicago Air. Nice pick up by Kara Weberg for the steal at the line out. Smith now looking for Stanley. Finds Jex. Jex into traffic. Wrapped up. Not releasing the tackles called on Chicago area. It's like Hodak did not release her tackle when she. Kara Weberg with the take. Smith finds Jex. Jex through a hole, gets a meter, is taken down. Stolen by Chicago area. Jacoby has it out to Mackenzie Wood. Excuse me, that's. Not sure who that is. Ball's bobbled forward by Chicago area. Charlie Jacoby leaves her feet and gets penalized for it. That time, Mid-America tries to quick tap and go, and not allowed. It's not allowed. Linda Guiney's being talked to by Lee Bryant. Been several folks have left their feet. And Guiney needs to let her troops know that got to stay on our feet at the rucks. Even if we're going for the ball, it's a little bit late in the half to be getting this many penalties. Lily Smith sets up for a penalty play again. And expect this ball to go to Jex.
Got to kind of question why they're not putting the ball down the field into touch and playing a little tighter.
Weberg, now Dozer. Dozer gets a few meters. She's stopped by Wood, and Daniel Kiesel stays in touch. Out to Grannon.
That could be
Out to
trouble.
Martello. And Lauren Ebeling sees a bit of space and kicks downfield, and Kiara Clausen's put under pressure with the ball that goes to touch. And that's halftime, folks. The scores, Chicago area 19, Mid-America 5. What do we see this half, Johnny Smith? Oh, it's half.
Well, the pain's been going on for a long, long time. And it got to the point where when I stood up, I didn't know whether I could take one step or 5 steps. We finally realized that I had a hip problem. Having my hip replaced was probably the best thing I ever did. When I woke up, there was really no pain. I mean, I was walking immediately. It's like you take a light switch and you turn the pain off. I'm able to do anything I want to do. Being able to spend time with my wife, with my kids, with my grandkids, that's irreplaceable.
Baylor Orthopedic and Spine Hospital.
right, and we're back here at Grand Prairie, Texas Prairies Park, where we have Chicago area Rugby Women's Selects up by 19-5 over Mid-America Rugby Union Selects. And Johnny Smith is with me. Johnny, what do you think Mid-America's got to do to come back in this second half?
I think they need to keep that ball tighter, keep it closer into their forwards, work it down the field. And number one, they've got to stop kicking to Gish. She just sets up too much, and she's just very good, makes everyone else around her better.
All right. And Chicago area definitely got the momentum. What have they done to gain that momentum?
Well, I think they've stuck to their plan. They wanted to move the ball. They have very mobile forwards. They've used those forwards. And obviously they want to get the ball into the hands of Gish. And I think they did that in the first half.
Sarah Kish has definitely been a weapon for Chicago area Rugby Union the last 2 days. And here we are in the second half. It's kicked off. It's up high. Goes to Mid-America. They bobbled it up a bit. No knock on, though. That's Caitlin Evan with the bobble. And now there's a side entrance by Amy Martello into that ruck. Lily Smith gives to Katie Sanders. Sanders drives forward. She's taken down by Martello and Cohen Price. Now Rupard is gathered up. Lee Smith still providing a little bit of slow ball there. Now Chloe Jex. It's bobbled up by Jex, and sort of another rare mistake there. Scrum to Carfu here. Chicago area Rugby in the blue on the left side of your screen, and Mid-America in the white on the right side, and we welcome you back to Grand Prairie. This is Grant Cole with This is Texas Rugby, powered by T5 Rugby Development Group. I'm joined today by Johnny Smith, the forwards coach at Texas A&M Men's Rugby. Grantham has the ball in. And it's been stolen. Emily Schmitz with the steal, with the pickup out of the scrum by Mid-America. And there's the forwards-driven game that Johnny was talking about just a minute ago. Charlie Jacoby with the tackle for Chicago. However, there's deemed to not roll away. That's Yevgeny Oftenbrink on the deck.
I think they have plenty of time, Grant, to play this kind of game, only being down a couple of tries. It seems to be where their strengths are, and they can wear out this Carfu attack by making them tackle.
And you wondered in the first half why Mid-America was running the penalty plays instead of kicking the touch, and here they have kicked the touch, and they're inside Chicago area territory with a stiff wind that could get them. They're going number one. Anna Dozer gets a good 5 meters before she's tackled by Jacoby. Now Jex, the power runner Jex. Smith looking out, finds Stanley, finds the captain Rupard, brought down by, it's found King. Stanley brings down Rupard. Smith looking for Katie Evans. Katie Sanders, excuse me. Oftenbrink with the steal there.
Katie's had a couple of big tackles this game and a couple of good hit-ups.
Sanford there with the tackle. Good presentation. Now Grannon gets the ball to Oftenbrink. Oftenbrink runs up. Has the ball to Diesel. Danielle Kiesel. Mid-America's counter ruck proves fruitful. And now they're on the attack. Smith now to Rupard. Rupard, King, Clausen trying to get through.
Tried to force that pass.
And those 50-50 passes that close in seem a little desperate sometimes. Don't always work.
But I think if you look at the last 5 or 6 minutes, Mid-America has kept it in tight. They've used their forwards to hit it up, hit it up, hit it up, hit it up. And now suddenly there's gaps out wide for them because they've dragged all that Carfu defense in.
One thing we did not see in the first half was this much of a Mid-America down in a Chicago area. Scrum inside the 22 to Carfu.
See if Marfu can come up with some pressure here.
Daniel Kiesel takes it off the base of the scrum. Now Charlie Jacoby with the pick and jam. Trying to get that ball back. Charge down by Mid-America. Recovered by Chicago. Katie Sanford with the take. Maintains possession. It's Abigail Hershey with the kick ahead. Knocked on by McLeod. Unlucky for Mid-America there. Chicago gets out of the pressure of being inside their red zone.
Dozier and Jacoby on this side have quite the battle going on between the loose head and the tight head. Always keen to see that.
They battle each other out in club play as well, as from what I've been told. So they're no strangers to each other. See, Jacoby's wrist is wrapped up. She's got a fracture there. How hard is it for a tight head with a fractured wrist to maintain a bind there, Johnny?
We're tight heads, it's what we do.
And Danielle Kiesel with the take. Now Jacoby. Ball's trying to get stolen. And it's not releasing the tackle fast enough. Stanley gives the ball to Kelly Hurt. And Kelly Hurt's looking for the touch line. Doesn't find it immediately, but it bounces out just over Anna Klaus's head. Still Amy Martella's throw in. Cohen Price with a clean take out to Grannon. Grannon to Stanley. Bobbles up. Kish, though, cleans up with it. Mid-America knows just how dangerous she could be, so Shayna Thomas wraps her up. Now Jacoby. Jacoby with the pick and jam. She finds some space and some meters. She runs over Clausen. Clausen with the good stop, though. Now Wood, Mackenzie Wood, wrapped up at the gang line. Martella. Oh, Martella with a nice offload to Lubick. Lubick looking for help. She's not finding any. And that's recovered in the ruck by Mid-American. Jacks out. And a knock on there by Shayna Thomas. Excuse me, that's Shayna Thomas with the knock on.
Mid-America will rue all of these missed opportunities they've had that have been concluded with a knock on. Seems like every time Carfu's given them a chance or given them possession through their own knock-on or error or penalty, Mid-America's come back with a matching penalty or a knock-on.
Granny with the put in, quick take. She guides it out to Stanley. Forward pass from Abigail Hershik. Hershik wearing the 17 jersey. Katriana Elmer and the 18 coming in on the dummy. Elmer, as we talked about yesterday, is a quality analyst at a brewing company in Chicago. What we would do for that job, Johnny?
Oh, I'm sorry. I slipped off to dreamland when he said brewing analyst.
They call her Jib Jab, number 18 for Chicago. And seriously, what she does for a living is a quality analyst at a brewing company in Chicago. And that's got to be a wonderful job to have. Smith now with the pass to King. King's taken down by Stanley. Mid-America's trying to maintain possession there and does. Smith digs it out. Now finds Bauer. Rebecca Bauer out there. There's a knock forward by Bauer into no advantage by Chicago.
You know, Grant, it's almost like Mid-America had some success hitting it up through their forwards and then found a little bit of space out wide due to that. And now they're just simply trying to go wide again without doing the hard yards up front.
Abby Higgins comes on for Shayna Thomas. Higgins, wearing the number 12, is not an inside center. She is actually a wing or a center, so she's going to slide in. Yeah, she's going to slide in inside center where Rochelle Thompson usually plays at. They've moved the other player out. Stanley taking it flat-footed again. Side entry by Katie Sanders, though, is dinged.
She got out there fast, though, that's for sure.
Kara Thayer is in for granted now. Excuse me, I noticed that now.
Katie Sanders has been quite the impact player for Marfie. A lot of big tackles.
Often Brink, the strongman competitor. Now Daniel Kiesel.
That would be strong woman competitor, correct?
I know, she says it's strongman. I asked her.
Okay, fair enough.
She says you can call it strongman. Now Jib Jab. Out to Abigail Hershik. Hershik drives forward for some meters. Now Often Brink again. Often Brink straight into Sanders.
Another great tackle by Sanders.
Thayer's pass is a little errant. Has to be cleaned up by Elmer. Knocked forward by Mid-America Hand, though. Has a scrum back to Carfu. Thayer with the put in for Chicago. Diesel with the take, gives to Thayer. Thayer out to Hurt. Hurt trying to go short side. She is denied any purchase. Now Jacoby fins off Karate.
What fractured wrist? I don't have no stinking fractured wrist.
Right, Often Brink now out in the back line. Finds Nobu, she's gathered up. Mackenzie Wood, oh, Diesel with the clear out.
It's a lovely clear out.
Ah, Jacoby with the knock on there. Excuse me, that's
That was actually Elmer with that knock on.
yeah.
Here comes that beautiful clear out again. Gonna slow that down. She lines it up and just unloads. Actually got a little high, but still quite the impactful clear out.
Daniel Kiesel. They call her Diesel, and there's a reason for it. That's Hannah Reed in now for Mid-America at 9. Jex with the 8-man take has to be brought down by Stanley. Lauren Kuklinski, nowhere to go. Jex again, dishing off to, looks like Rebecca Bauer. Now Schmitz. Schmitz with the offload. Ball's out. Reed again. Now Rupard, the captain. She's got a nice offload to Abby Higgins. Mid-America back to that 10-man game talked about, Johnny.
Yeah, and had a little bit of success out wide. Carfu adjusted and had defenders out there, but
Katie Sanford with a punishing run after Carfu's counter ruck regains in possession.
for several people. She punished several people on that run.
Rachel Rogowski driving forward. Yeah, it makes you wonder why Sanford hasn't had the ball more often.
Straight through the middle there.
Stepping through, nice step. Rogowski again, out to Jacoby. Jacoby with some space. Clausen has to take her down. Good tackle by Clausen. That's not going to be an easy one. Now Diesel with the ball. Carfu has just marched it forward a good 30 meters in the last 30 seconds. That's Ruck. His ball's not going to come out of there, Lee Bryant says, and Mid-America gets a minute of rest.
That was a great passage of play from Carfu. They're really using their forwards. Here we see the hooker going forward, just punishing people left and right. Really using their athleticism there and going quick, looking for the offloads, trying to move the ball quickly, but at the same time keeping it in tight.
Julie Bode has come back on at prop. And Elizabeth Crotty has stepped off.
Well, Carfu really had him under some pressure at that last scrum. Luckily, Mid-America got a nice hook and got the ball out quickly. Let's see what they can do here. That last scrum, it looked like Jacoby is starting to wear down Dozer. So we'll see how Dozer responds.
Rogowski and Hutler are in for Chicago area at flanker for Guiney, for the captain Guiney and Anna Cohen-Price.
Not surprising, Dozer is now complaining about something that Jacoby's doing.
Can't imagine what that might be. Good channel 1 feed. Bauer has a take. Now Jax. Jax gathers up a couple of defenders. King has it out. They're trying to spin it wide. Rupard has the bobble though. Just when something was about to happen, Rupard with the knock on. And Chicago with another scrum. Play seems to have slowed down a bit here in the second half.
2 games in 2 days that's really, really tough, especially after a plane flight or a long bus ride. I don't think it's too surprising that both these teams from so far away might be running out a little bit of gas.
And they're in a really sandy area of the pitch right now. Most of the pitch is pretty hard, but there's a strip on the pitch where something's been dug up from years gone by and replaced with a lot of sand, and that's the area they're in right now, so they're repositioning to a place with a little bit better footing. So Bryant's wondering why Klaus is not able to get her head in under the shoulder. And there's some replacements going on. Oftenbrink steps into to tight head prop, and Jacoby switches over to loose head. Interesting there.
Dozer immediately looks to take advantage of that. Offenbrink went straight up.
Interesting choice there. When you're coaching long body tight head drops like that, Johnny, how do you keep them, what are you teaching them to keep from moving upwards when they're under pressure?
Well, they've got to learn to keep that that shoulder tight to them. Never allow that pressure to actually start moving upwards. Once you start moving upwards, it's very difficult to recover.
Smith has the ball out to King. A lot of pressure from the Chicago attack now. Wood bringing down her opposite number. Mid-America still retains possession.
I think that's the first time today Mid-America has actually gotten it all the way to their wing.
That's Julie Bodie with the ball, with the take. Now Dozer. Dozer looking at Sanford saying, you're not a match for me. Has to be taken down by two Chicago area players. Rebecca Bauer now.
Should be some space out there. Nice.
Clausen says, give me the ball. I can do something. She steps through, gets tackled up. A lot of ball handling here from Mid-America, not much ground gained. Smith digging it out again. Has it out to King.
Nice work by number 11 on the far side. Wood make both those tackles.
Wood's definitely giving Monson all she can handle with tackles and with runs. Monson's had a rough time of it today with her. Nice penalty gain there, and Chicago, Stanley finds touch easily. Sub coming on for Chicago area right now. Maria Acosta coming on for Diesel. Danielle Kiesel at 8-man. That's a complete replacement of their back row now. Anna Cohen-Price, excuse me, she's got the ball up. Ball's out from Thayer.
She's been a real line-out winner for him today.
A little bit of a miscue there by Elmer and Stanley, and Elmer's knocked it on a attacking opportunity for Chicago going awry.
It's always nice to have that one person in line-out you know you can always go to.
Roe Towson and Rochelle Towson coming on for Dozer, and Kiara Weberg coming on for Emily Schmitz. Schmitz and Dozer both have had a high work rate today. Getting a deserved break. Towson proving that she can fit in at front row and midfield. Probably one of Naima Reddick's favorite people then.
That was much better work from off brink at tight head prop. She made a quick adjustment.
Abby Higgins with a step inside. Finds the space.
It's a rare mistake from Katie Sanders. She's had a pretty good game today.
Rupard, pass goes awry. And McLeod steps into touch, trying to pick it up. You know, this is a wider and longer pitch than most. Is talking to the Grand Prairie guys, and this pitch is 70 meters by 110. That's a long, long way to run, isn't it, Johnny? I'm not sure why it's 110, but it is, with 18-meter deep tri-zones. Cohen Price with the take. Mauling drive by Chicago area. Thayer has it out to Stanley. Stanley finds midfield. Now Often Brink slotting in. Finds
she
jib jab.
She did that very well yesterday.
Wood takes on Monson, gets a meter off of the tackle.
Nice steal. Can't make out the number on who that was, but
Monson with the ball now. Steal was made by Kara Weberg.
it's good work.
Rupard is called on to make a clearance kick. Mid-America line out now, just about 22. That's not straight. Either the wind got a hold of that, it was a floater. Chicago area wisely chooses for a scrum. They've been getting good possession out of scrum today. About 13 minutes left in this match today. No scores in the second half. It's still 19-5 to Chicago. Here in Grand Prairie, Texas, it's been a back and forth affair, played mostly between the 22s in the second half. Intentional spinning to 90 is penalized by Mid-America. Chicago area is going to get a kick to touch. Johnny, how do you think they got that? What happens when you intentionally roll that 90? What are you doing there?
Well, I think what they were trying to do is attack that new tight head there and just be disruptive, which was a good plan, and then it just overextended it, went too far, and referee deemed they were doing it on purpose. I think that sometimes can be a tough call for a referee to make, whether they're doing it on purpose or not.
Going Price up again. It's not straight, though. It's on her outside shoulder.
But definitely if I saw a lock move up to tight head, I think that's a good place to start, looking for a crack in that scrum.
Schlebanowski now with the throw in for Mid-America. And that's not straight either. So Bryant is going to call for a scrum to Chicago area. That's the second or third time today we've seen back and forth, not straights, going to a straight scrum. Thayer has it out. Chicago area is under pressure now. Rotowson definitely a strong scrummager there at loose head prop. Katie Sanders there was tracking down. I was doing just exactly what a flanker should do there. Now Hodak with the carry. Finds Costa. Ball's turned over. Clausen tries to find some space. All she finds is blue jerseys, and Rogadowski's come up with the ball. Hurt now. Oh. Hurt was gathered around her neck.
Well, that's the first time in a while we've seen Gish into the game, which is a little perplexing.
Abigail Hershik is down for Chicago area at the moment. Trainer's been called out to see her, and looked like assistant referee Young had her flag up at that event. So it might be interesting to see exactly what comes of this. Waters out on the field now. We've got about 10 minutes left in this match at Grand Prairie, Texas. If you've not been to the Grand Prairie rugby pitch, it is on the old Navy, U.S. Navy Reserve Air Base here in Grand Prairie. You see the old runway lights still here on the pitch, and the pitch is a full pitch with a full cricket oval next to it. Beautiful open facility. Good to see Hershik get up. She's walking. She needs a little help keep weight off the leg, but she is walking off, and she's headed to touch now. Young relays her message to Lee Bryant. Lee Bryant still says this was a line out. We're going to have a throw in to Mid-America.
I've not had too much luck with the last 3 or 4 lineouts. Let's see what Mid-America comes up here with to try to get possession.
Schlebanowski with the throw in. Almost stolen by Cohen Price. Definitely bobbled up. Stanley. Miscue there. We're going to come back to the knock on by Cohen in the line out. Scrum going to go to Mid-America at the 15-meter mark. Again, still a lot of pressure. And this second half of this match has been scoreless and played mostly between the 22s. We're down inside Mid-America 22, inside of Mid-America red zone now, as they look to gain possession and move it the other direction. Free kick to Mid-America. Chicago area props are deemed to be boring up on entry.
I think they're calling them for going too early, Grant.
Okay, going too early.
And I think that's a result of moving a tight head over to the loose head.
Trying to get that little bit of a jump, huh? Knocked on by Mid-America. Chicago area gets another minute of respite. Wind has died down a little here in Grand Prairie for these last few minutes of the match.
I'm not sure if for a club off-brink plays on the front row, but it is a bit perplexing that you would take a tight head like Charlie Jacoby and move her to the other side to introduce a new player.
Costa with the take. Finds Mackenzie Wood. Mackenzie Wood steps through a couple of would-be tacklers, gets a meter before she's brought down. Mid-America gets her hands in there illegally.
But I should also point out Charlie Jacoby is also the coach of the team and knows what she's doing, and I'm sitting in a booth watching. So
Jacoby seems like she's played quite a bit of front row at all positions at some time in her life, too. Jacoby reminds me of some of my favorite Eagle props, Naima Reddick and Laura Vivola, and the way they run the ball in the open field as well as scrimmage strongly, almost like they could be centers as well as props at times. Hannah Reed comes off at scrum half for Mid-America, bringing back on Lily Smith. Not releasing the tackle there. Mid-America, their 5-meter penalty. Chicago looking, not releasing the ball. Chicago looking to get one last try before the bell. And who does it go to? Jacoby. Now Ebeling finds Kish. Kish drops the ball. It's a knock on. McLeod with it now. McLeod is taken down. Now Jackson Towson, both power runners. An offsides penalty call to on Rogowski. Rogowski reached across while Smith was trying to dig the ball out of that ruck. It's definitely very offsides. Fatigue's starting to show here, Johnny. And like you said, 2 games in 2 days. It's a tough call, especially at the select side level.
yeah, it can be particularly brutal. I was talking to one of my former co-coaches a while back, and we were reminiscing about how we used to play 3 80-minute games at collegiate westerns, and how that seems a bit insane now from a player welfare standpoint.
Exactly. Jax with the take. Chicago area still tackling strong. Rupard directly into contact. It's bobbled off a foot, then off a hand by Mid-America. About 10 meters out from the line. Chicago area is going to get a scrum. If they can get a clean take here, we might expect Acosta to show what she's got. There with the put in. Costa with the take, as advertised. No help though. She doesn't need any. As Acosta with the don't argue, drives in for the try. She takes two Mid-America players in for it. She finally puts points on the board in the second half for Chicago area.
That's a little bit more than a don't argue. That was a don't speak, don't look at me, don't do, don't just nothing.
Exactly what you want to see out of an 8-man on a take when you really need to try.
And it's a great hook by the hooker during that scrum, realizing that they've had problems or struggled on their right-hand side, but they still wanted to go right, get that ball out quickly.
So 4 tries today for Chicago area. Kathleen Stanley lines up her conversion kick. She's got plenty of oomph on it, but plenty of accuracy, but not enough oomph. Scores at 24, Chicago. to 5 for Mid-America. Chicago stays in the lead, and with just a few minutes left in this match, you got to think Chicago's got this one wrapped up as much as we played between the 22s. But we thought that yesterday with Texas against Mid-America, and Mid-America with a thrilling last few minutes for us. So this is not something you want to turn off right now. If you're watching, Mid-America could have some surprises available. Jacoby has the knock on, and Mid-America regains possession. Smith out to Sanders. Sanders been tackling, running, driving all day, doing everything you want a 7 to do.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Sanders today. She's done a lot of hard yards.
Rupard straight out on the full, just a bit more overcooked than she wanted. Looked like she wanted to grub her to Clausen, and McLeod coming on strong and just put a little bit too much oomph on that. Price with a clean take. Stanley bobbles a little bit but gathers control. Kish now. Chicago looking to Kish, and Kish bobbles it up, trying to pass, trying to offload. Smith cleans it up for Mid-America. They've got knock-on advantage here. Now Jex. Jex driving forward. This is exactly what Mid-America did to Texas yesterday in the closing minutes. Rupard finds Clausen. Clausen brought down by Jib Jab Elmer. Smith digs it out again. Finds King. King to Jex. Jex steps through. Has to be dragged down by her ankles.
It's a 4-on-1 out there if they move it.
A lot of space outside to the right for Mid-America. Katie Sanders chooses to take it straight up, and Jacoby with the steal. Oh, that's what, 5 or 6 for today. A couple of don't argues. She's just knocking him down everywhere.
Well, Coach Jacoby said before the game, we've got to increase our physicality, and they've definitely done that.
She's led from the front by making sure Chlabanowski is dealt with harshly. Mid-America is found to be offsides at the breakdown. Kick to touch, bounces in, then out. Line out to Chicago, just outside of the 22 here at Grand Prairie.
Carfu's definitely had the advantage today in the kicking game. They've been more direct with their kicking, been more tactical with their kicking, and just from a length standpoint, gained more ground with their kicking.
Just a few minutes left here. Chicago's up 24-5 over Mid-America. 4 tries for Chicago and 2 conversions to 1 try and no conversions by Mid-America. Mid-America's only try coming from Chloe Jex, the big number 8, the power runner. Now Kelly Hurt running around to the outside, gets driven into touch by McLeod. McLeod hasn't had much luck touching the ball today, but she's been devastating on the tackles. Chlabanowski now with the throw in for Mid-America.
I think I understand why Marfu was running penalty plays earlier in the game.
Yeah, they're not really
struggling at line-out time.
Not really accurate there, are they? Oftenbrink takes down Kuklinski hard. And both of them hit the ground pretty rough, and neither of them are getting up quickly. Both of them holding arms. Those big number 5s have done a lot of work today, and looks like they finally got the best of each other. Towson now with the crash up front. Has to be brought down by Sanford. Smith finds Sanders, King, Higgins. Higgins loses the ball. Chicago cleans it up. And knock on by Higgins there results in a scrum to Chicago.
It's kind of the story of the day there for Marfu. Gain some meters in through their forwards and then try to move it a little bit wider in with a knock on.
Emily Schmitz is back on for Lauren Glinski for these final moments of the game. Thayer with the put in. Acosta with the take. But Smith is deemed to have been offside, over anticipating that 8-man take a little bit. And Lee Bryant seems to be telling Chicago, if you'll get it to touch, this is the game. So Kelly Hurt definitely wants to kick it as far as she can. She puts an oomph on it, and that's the game. Chicago area, 24-5 over Mid-America here at Grand Prairie, Texas, at their Rugby All-Stars Challenge. Chicago area definitely coming away with the one up this weekend with 2 wins in 2 games. Johnny Smith has been with me. Johnny, what do you think of this game?
I thought it was a great game. I think for patches, Mid-America played well, but just didn't do it enough for enough minutes. Carfu came out. In the first half, definitely played the game they wanted to play, and then I think in the second half got tied into a forwards battle, so they weren't able to put up as many points.
All right, this has been Grant Cole with This is Texas Rugby, powered by T5RDG, and Johnny Smith, forwards coach at Texas A&M, with you today here at Grand Prairie. We thank you for joining us and hope you'll join us next time on the Texas Rugby Union Network as we broadcast another game come May.
Well, the pain's been going on for a long time, and it got to the point where when I stood up, I didn't know whether I could take 1 step or 5 steps. We finally realized that I had a hip problem. Having my hip replaced was probably the best thing I ever did. When I woke up, there was really no pain. I mean, I was walking immediately. It's like you take a light switch and you turn the pain off. I'm able to do anything I want to do. Being able to spend time with my wife, with my kids, with my grandkids, that's irreplaceable.
Baylor Orthopedic and Spine Hospital.